Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I mean, it's normal for us.
Guess we'll be counting the Torah scrolls tonight. I guess we'll be counting the Torah scrolls tonight for the minion.
Yep.
We count them in their seats too.
Ooh,
Me.
yeah,
1, 2,
7 of
3,
us.
4, 5, 6, 7.
7. I count 7.
Yeah, well, I'm not counting by your counting.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, what's the rabbinical word on people viewing online? Are those counted in the minion?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 Torahs.
That's 10. But people logged in on YouTube?
We counted on 3. We have enough people. We're fine.
And remember to add Betty White to the outside.
Wait, to add who?
Betty White.
Betty White to your site.
Was she Jewish?
Or Sue Ann
Was she Jewish?
or Rose.
Oh, Betty White, that
Betty White, the
I'm sitting there
actress.
thinking, who's that?
Was Betty White Jewish, Michael?
Nobody's answering you.
I know. Everyone's deaf out there.
Use the mic right there.
Rabbi Dance, was Betty White Jewish?
Pull it up.
Okay, I saw somebody walk out.
Just to get a look.
Oh, is that for a book? Okay. Hello.
Turn your power unit on
Yep.
and push it, yeah. Yeah.
You'll get a train yet.
Better. Not great, but good. Yeah. Yes.
Shabbat Shalom. And Happy New Year. It is a pleasure to be here with you, as always. We are going to start Shabbat on page 2. And I hear that there's another rabbi in the room. On page 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We are going to turn to page 342. 342.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the seas, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Page 350. Hava, Nigila, Hava, Nigila, Hava, Nigila, Benismita. Hava, Nigila, Hava, Nigila, Hava, Nigila, Benismita. Hava, Niranana, Hava, Niranana, Hava, Niranana, Benismita. Uru Achim b'lev sameach, Uru Achim b'lev sameach, Uru Achim b'lev sameach, Uru Achim b'lev sameach. Page 353 at the bottom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, 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 Aleinu ve'al ha'olam, salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al
continue on page 20 with Kadodi 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lehikadodi lehikrakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, 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 Shahamor v'Sechor b'Dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el Hanukkah, Adonai echad u'Shemo echad, L'Shem u'Tiferet v'Le'ilah, Lechadodi, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Lehikrat Shabbat lehichu b'necha, Ki himikor ha'bracha, Nehiroshi kedem nesucha, Sofa v'sevet machshavatila, Lechadodi, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Hitoreri, Ki ba'oreku mi huri, hirshireri, Kemo Adonai alayikla, Lechadodi, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila. Bohi v'shalom ater bala, Gam v'simchahu sohola, Tochim ne'yam segula, Bohi kala, Lechadodi, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila, Lechadodi l'Krakala, B'nai Shabbat lehikavila.
We continue now on page 26. Page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shnei rabba, Yom adivrak yotev yamlik malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon, Uv'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uv'yisman kariv, V'neru, Amen. Yehesh le'Rabba me'orach, le'olam ol me'amaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithalel, v'yithalal, Shnei Kudasha Rehu, Le'elam Yikol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiram B'yama, V'neru, Amen. Please rise and we all join together. La 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 Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day to night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaoth is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv arani.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha, Amcha, Amcha, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta, Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachreinu, Kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, V'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayenu, v'orech yameinu, U'bahem v'geyom v'layla, v'geyom v'layla, v'ha'acha ha'tasir, v'meinu l'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohei Amo Yisrael, Ohei Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Have a seat. Page 37 at the bottom. And we join together. Judaism is doing which can be grasped only by the heart. When people come to you for help, do not turn them off with pious words saying, have faith and take your troubles to God. Act instead as if there were no God, as though there were only one person in all the world who could help, only yourself. Abiah said, spread the love of God through your actions. If you yourself study and help others to do so, if your business activities are decent and trustworthy, what will people say? Have you seen the behavior of one who studies Torah? How beautiful, what a fine person. Thus Isaiah taught, you are my servant, I will be glorified through you. On page 36 in the English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God, Adonai Elohechem, and that. Page 39 at the top. Together, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Mi kamocha v'helim Adonai, mi kamocha v'edar makodesh. No rata hilo, o senefelet, no rata hilo, o senefelet. Malchut techa, ramu ranecha, bokei hayam, lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli hanu v'yameru. Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed.
Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael. Page 42, lines 3 in both the Hebrew and English.
Ufros aleinu, sukash lomecha. Ufros aleinu, sukash lomecha. Spread over all of us the sukkah of Shalom. Spread over all of us the sukkah of Shalom. Ufros aleinu, sukkah shlomecha. Ufros aleinu, sukkah shlomecha. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, Holy Leolam, Vishamru, B'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. וביום השביעי שבת בנפש, שבת בנפש, שבת בנפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם.
And we turn the page and rise. Na 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 Adonai, na 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 sfatai tiftach, na 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 ufi yaki tehilatecha, מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מחמוך בעל גבורות, ומגדול מלך מריד ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה החיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Have a seat. On the bottom of 55, the very bottom, and we join together. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat we try to become attuned to the holiness of time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. At the top, on the same page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, sha'otcha levadcha v'yir'ah na'avot. Page 58. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. We continue now on page 60 with Sholom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki hatahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki hatahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol hein u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael
Yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'imrav Yaseh Shalom Years and years ago, when I was in rabbinic school, I went to Ethiopia, as many of you know. And it's something that I have never forgotten. And I spoke the other day with Barbara Ribakov. And I was reminded about how many letters, about how many things have happened, about ways that Ethiopians have grown and learned, and ways that there still is a lot of difficulty and trouble. And so I want to share with you, in case you didn't see this letter, I want to share this with you. When I started this end-of-year letter to you, I was going to talk about important plans that we were making to help more Ethiopian Israeli kids get into good high schools and colleges, and how our next gigantic distribution of nutritious teff grain would be on the way to Jewish families in Addis Ababa and Gondar City. But as more terrible news kept coming in from Ethiopia's bloody civil war, I kept tearing up letters and starting new ones. And remember, this is Barbara speaking, not me. The news talked about growing fear in Ethiopia, where 9 different factions were now engaged in the spreading war. Our U.S. Secretary of State said that Ethiopia could be on the road to destruction. There are still thousands of Jews in Ethiopia, at least around 14,000. Many already starving, sick, and in very real danger. And that will only increase if the country falls apart. History shows us that when chaos takes over, Jews become scapegoats. There are already reports of Jewish mothers being attacked as they carried home food packets from our feeding programs for their malnourished children. Jews have been kidnapped and held for ransom to force their relatives in Israel, who may live in poverty themselves, to send what they can to free them. As members of NACOJ, our first thought has to be, how can we help? What can we do? Though we cannot bring peace to Ethiopia, both as individuals and as a group, we can all do much more to save these Jews. If by the time you read this, peace has not come and all the Jews have not been rescued, and we know that's true, please contact your members of Congress. Urge them to call the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. and tell the ambassador you congratulate Israel for promising to bring 3,000 Ethiopian Jews home. But many American Jews are fearful for the lives of the 11,000 that will be left behind. Say that we are pleading with Israel to bring all of them, not just a few, out of Ethiopia, as fast as they did in Operation Solomon in 1991. In which NACOJ participated on the ground in Addis. Make your calls. Make them now, before it's too late. If enough senators and representatives call the embassy, Israel will take notice. Next, all of us as a group in NACOJ are keeping as many Jews alive as possible. So far, we've been able to continue feeding increasing hundreds of malnourished Jewish children under the age of 5, and pregnant and nursing mothers. And as you know, we have also been distributing tons of nutritious teff to every Jewish family in Gondar City and in Addis Ababa. Both cities have recently become probable ground war zones. As you read this, I hope our most recent delivery of enough teff to sustain every family for 4 months reached them during Hanukkah. But we can't wait another 4 months to provide additional food. If the war intensifies, we may be forced out of either city or both, and that could happen at any time. Not long ago, we heard continuing gunfire near Gondar City, and now the fighting is headed towards Addis. And so we must get as much food as we can to as many Jews as we can, as fast as we can. And we must try to give the Jews enough reserves to survive until peace or rescue comes at last. And so you can help. You can help by making a generous emergency donation for food for these children now. If you can send even more than usual, we will be so very grateful, because war brings food scarcity and soaring inflation. A teff distribution that cost NACOJ $150,000 a few months ago now costs over $180,000, and it's rising. And so, my dear friends, I hope in my next letter that I can tell you that the Ethiopian Jews have all reached Israel or are trying to arrive there. And then I will joyfully tell you of our new plans and their children, for their children in the Promised Land. In the meantime, let us all pray for peace, plead for rescue, and do our best to bring to help the Jews who have been afraid for far too long. And this is from Barbara Cliff. A thank you letter just arrived from Ethiopia. And it says as follows. First of all, we would like to extend our pleasure and thanks to your unreserved assistance. Because your peace and security is similarly true to us, we wish God would bless you and shower peace on you. Alongside with this, we, Bet Israelis in Gondar, would like to thank you very much, for you are always to our side, especially at this critical period when coronavirus has prevailed and created health problem in Ethiopia. It was very difficult to support ourselves. And yet, your assistance with teff has saved our lives and created hope to our future existence. Dear NetCoach members, you have stayed stretching your hands of help to us. With respect to this, your assistance with teff has enabled our community that it would have passed away because of hunger and disease. And this has also created means of existence to half of the community. With this, we would like to extend you our heartfelt thanks on behalf of our community. Let God register your good deed and keep it in God's best spiritual document. The humanitarian assistance and support you have rendered with Israeli mothers, fathers, children, and to the aged people has contributed a lot to our existence. We hope that you will stand to our side and go on with your usual humanitarian assistance. With warm regards. There are so many different ways to reach out and help. Originally, I was going to speak on 2 different topics, both of which I think are crucial tonight. All day today, what's happened here and what's been happening in Ethiopia. There are ways that we can reach out and help. And so, I want to share with you a little bit of a letter from a colleague. His name is Fred Green. He is the rabbi of Boulder, Colorado. And he said initially that there were tens of thousands of families burned out of their homes, with 500 or more burned out of their houses. And so he said to us, thanks to many who have reached out. I am unable to respond immediately right now. I am the rabbi of Boulder, Colorado, and many of our congregants have lost their homes in a tragic fire that made 2 towns evacuate. An estimated 600 homes at least will be lost, and there are now suggestions that those 600 homes will be as many as 1,000 homes. I am sure that 40 to 50 of my congregants have lost their homes in these fires. I have 75 who live in that area outside the city of Boulder, but in Boulder County. If you would like to support their care, acts at Tzedakah can be made to the following. Jewish Colorado, which is their federation for that area, our federation has launched a Boulder Fire Fund. And I can give anybody who wants the URLs. There's also the Community Fund from Boulder County, which is talking about getting grants from Boulder and to take care of the wildfires, to take care of the animals as they get hurt, and of course the people as just as much. Rabbi Green said, I will be giving more immediate resources to folks from my rabbi's discretionary fund. And I can give you that name, that URL if you want it. It's a whole lot of people. It's a terrible experience. And we need somehow to reach out. It's not enough to reach out to help Ethiopians. It's not enough to reach out to help those within their homes. It means that we need to do everything in our power to somehow reach out, somehow create a way that this community and this congregation can say, we're here, we're going to help you, we're going to send whatever is needed that we can do. Rabbi Green said that the congregation, which is called Congregation Har Hashem, has the URL is, just so you hear it once, is fg@harhashem.org, and it's on Baseline Road in Boulder. It is extraordinarily difficult to come up with something that makes any of us feel better, because it is absolutely horrible. And we have to stop and say, okay, we can continually say this is difficult, this is bad, this is horrible, and then we go home and we forget to do anything. So I'm challenging you to work with me, to work with Federation, to work with the congregation, to say what is it that we can do here from Springfield, sending to the Ethiopian community and sending to now the community that has been burning. And so if you've got some ideas, if you've got ways that you would like to make donations, I encourage you strongly to do that. Yes?
I'm looking now to see whether we usually get a link and
I have the link.
To the whole community.
Okay, I have the link from Rabbi Green, and I have his email.
Yeah.
And so that's going to get there the quickest.
For, right, Jewish Colorado too.
Yeah, that's fine. The fact that Rabbi Green knows these people very well and is working with them means that he knows who he can get stuff to as quickly as possible. And they'll all put all that stuff together. So, however we get it there, it's got to get there.
Yeah, they'll all get together and probably bring in some other resources.
Right, I'm sure. But this is a start, and a start is a good thing. So, I know that Rabbi Green has not talked heavily about what is going on. He doesn't have time to breathe, let alone anything else. And he's been running around trying to take care of everybody and everything. So we hope and pray that we will be able to help him and help what's been going on in a way that will reach out and share the caring and the emotion and whatever other kinds of ways that we can help, ways that we can send money, ways that we can do all kinds of different things. So as you're thinking about it, please feel free. You can talk to Federation, you can talk to Rabbi Green, and he is hoping to also be receiving that money very quickly for people who are really in trouble. So, comments or thoughts?
Well, I can tell you that down the mountain, it's all smoky.
Right, it is.
My sister lives on.
Yeah, it is a mess, without a doubt. And what I also want to just remind you of, and then we'll continue on, is that yes, it is crucial that we need to be there with the folks that are suffering in Colorado. But yes, also, it's crucial that we need to help in Ethiopia, that we have small children with no food, that we have families that are starving. And so we need to sort of divide and conquer in some fashion to do a number of different things to help and make it at least just a little bit better. Wishing a year of calm and grace, a year filled with health and healing, of body and soul, hope and faith, joy and fulfillment, inner peace and outer peace too, love and friendship, family harmony, abundance, wisdom, growing and learning, and blessings in God's light. From Rabbi Naomi Levy. We are going to continue now on page 253. Page 253. Is there anybody who is thinking about someone who is ill that you would like to share?
Karen Berwitz.
Anybody else?
Earl Feldman.
Lynn's sister Karen and Lynn's aunt Sidell.
Carrie Israel from Temple. No, Carrie, Howard. Sorry. Gary Howard. Gary was really small.
Anybody else? So we also are thinking about Judy Foster, and we hope and pray for her healing as we all join together with the Misha Be'erach on page 253. Page 253.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 258, 258. The bottom paragraph we join together. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Page 258. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. And we continue on the next page. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love and spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Page 282. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'ateit gedula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asa gegoyei haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'kol hamonam, v'anam Please be seated for a moment. At this time, is there anybody who is remembering someone special and precious to you that you would like to share? In that case, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. William Wald, DDS, cousin of Lisa Stone. Iris Scholtes, mother of Debbie Steele. Sandra Indez, sister of Arlene Berwin. Roz Zimmerman. Sylvia Falk, mother of Lori Barnum. Ruth Datz, mother of Rabbi Datz. Sophie Pollock, mother of Sharon Green. Sarah Myers, sister of Barbara Spiro. Natalie Yaffe, wife of Stuart Yaffe. Dr. Gilbert R. Cherrick, uncle of Alan Cherrick. Lawrence Berlin, father of Becky Trieger. Gloria Cohen, mother of Mary Beth Cohen. John Woods with Edie Schultz. Eleanor Zaraski, mother of Richard Zaraski. Elaine Beneshu, father of Remy Beneshu. Betty White. We also remember those who died at this season in years past. Anna M. Ackerman, Doris Berg, Bess Dushan, Morton Frank, Lena K. Gell, Sidney Goldman, Simon Hammerslow, Ida Height, Louis E. Herman, Flora Kusel-Hexter, David S. Langer, Sarah R. Langer, Meyer Lilienstein, David E. Morgan, Jean Newman, Betty Nussbaum, Saul Shea, Joseph B. Stern, Sam Yaffe. Please rise. As we remember all those who were special to us, all those who were so important in our lives, we thank God for the gift of their lives, and we join together in the Kaddish prayer. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shnei Rabbah, Yalmad Yivrach Yirutei v'Yamlich Malchutei, V'chayei Chon u'v'yomei Uv'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Karev V'imru Amen. Yehei Shnei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Omei Omaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitpaman V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar V'yithaleh V'yithalal Shemei Kudashah Harichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Da'amiran V'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei Shalom v'imromav, U'ya'asei Shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we all say, Amen. Have a seat. And without giving any notice, do you have a favorite song? Because you guys are so good when you sing in choir. Do you have a favorite closing song of any kind?
What's your one?
Asher malach b'terem bo yitzir nirva le'nasa v'chefso kol azar melech yishon nivra ya'arei yiflot hakol levado yimlot bara v'hu haya v'hu oved v'hu yeh v'tishbara. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We go downstairs. We'll join together in the Kiddush and the Oneg.